Are you helping dig the footers too, Belle? What's in there? What's in there? What's in there? Did you find anything? Hi everybody, it's Amy from Northwoods Studio and welcome to this week's video. I have a lot going on this week. I have some really exciting news. You might have seen it from the intro. It's probably not what you think it is though. And then let's see what else this week. I'm going through all my sketchbooks. I'm moving stuff around in my studio. I'm preparing for my surgery to make this accessible, so hopefully I can try to continue to make art. And oh, I had a Copic disaster this week. I'm so mad at Copic markers right now. So mad. So mad. But anyway, there's a lot of fun stuff going on this week, so get yourself something cozy to drink and come on in and we'll chat for a little bit. Okay, so you guys, it's future me talking. This is Friday morning me, because again, things changed this week. But before I put it back to Monday morning me, I did just want to say, I'm thinking maybe not until after my surgery and recovery, because I don't know how much I can handle right now. But I was wondering what, so like I talked about it a little bit in the live stream yesterday. I'll link the live stream down below. But I've been reading through The Artist's Way again. I can't remember what I filmed this week and what I didn't. So I may have already talked about this earlier this week. But if you haven't read this book, it's a good book. It's a course in discovering and recovering your creative self. But week number 2, you're supposed to do artists' dates. And for that, you're supposed to like go to art museums and, you know, view other people's arts. I can't do that where I live. We don't have that. And I was thinking I might want to do artist dates Tuesdays where I like play with an art supply or just low-key do some studies or sketches or swatch stuff or, you know, work in a sketchbook. And then maybe just film that and not a ton of editing, you know, just, you know, filmed artwork or art playtime, and put it up as a second video on Tuesdays. I'd probably keep them shorter, like 10 to 15 minutes, but just to share some of that stuff that I'm doing. So let me know if you think that's a good idea or not. I could also throw in like little tips and tricks and stuff if people ever, you know, need to know stuff into that video series. So let me know down in the comments if you would like to see that or if that's something you're not interested in, because, you know, I don't want to waste my time if nobody would watch it. So please let me know. You can probably see I've got a bunch of stuff up and I bet you're interested about what I'm doing. So I will now throw it over to Monday morning Amy and we'll start the video. Okay everybody, it's Monday. It's President's Day, so my kids are home. So excuse the bedhead. But I had the greatest idea over the weekend and I'm actually feeling like excited about art again for the first time in a while. So I'm going to tell you all about it. Okay, so after last week's video, I was feeling pretty down when I filmed that video. I think you could probably tell. I don't think my mental space was that great. So this past weekend, I did a lot of thinking. I did a lot of journaling. And I've come to some different realizations. And we will get into that this week. But the thing that I'm super excited about is I was thinking about art. And I was thinking about how simple it was in the beginning. And then I was listing what I really enjoyed about the art that I was doing way back at the beginning. And a lot of what I was missing was like the mindfulness of the art that I was doing back at the beginning. So if it was before my time here on YouTube, I would say I started getting back into art in 2019 after my long break. And the first thing I did after, like, you know, drawing with pencils was pen and ink. And I think I'll probably pop in a flip through of some of my pen and ink pieces from that time. Maybe my sketchbook. My Inktober sketchbook. I'm still a little sleep deprived, I'm so sorry. And I'll show you some of that this week. And one of the things I really liked about the pen and ink was how it was so, like, I was so easy to get into the flow. Like, I'd be just doing the same marks over and over and over, and I'd zone out and I'd stop thinking and I'd feel so relaxed when I was done. And I'm really missing that. I'm thinking so hard about everything all the time that art has like gotten stressful for me instead of being the relaxing thing that it used to be. And I was thinking about that this weekend, and I was thinking, how could I combine those black and white ink pieces that I used to make with color? And then I started to get really excited, and I was thinking, like, I could do it with markers, I could do it with watercolor. And then while I was thinking about it, I suddenly remembered that back when I was, doing the ink pieces for Christmas of 2019, my husband gave me a portable drawing desk with the surface that tilts up. And I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner, but part of the reason I've been struggling to do art is because of the two torn tendons in my rotator cuff. I can't, with this arm, I can't do this. Like, I get to here and I can't rotate it down anymore. So holding a piece of paper flat is right at that end range of motion for me. So when I'm working with something on my desk, it really hurts. And I was thinking to myself, Amy, why did you not think of the portable drawing desk sooner? I don't know what I was thinking. But my husband is going to unpack it later. He has today off too. He had to go in to work for a little bit, but he has today off. And when I stopped doing the pen and ink pieces, I packed it away because it's big and there's not a lot of room in here. So it's upstairs in one of the upstairs closets. And he's going to get it out for me, and I'm going to set it up. And I'm thinking, I feel really excited about it again for the first time in a long time. And I know I've mainly been working with Ohuhu markers, but I think I might get out my Copics too. I'm thinking of, so the problem with alcohol markers are they're dye-based and not pigment-based. So that means no brand that you buy is going to be light fast because they have to use dye, otherwise the pigment particles are too coarse to use with a marker tip. So none of them are considered light fast. But here, hang on one second. Okay, I'm back. So I had my son take this down off his wall. This is a marker piece. I started it and never finished it. It was one of the very first ones that I ever did. This was Copic markers, and this has been hanging on a south-facing wall in his room, no frame, just stuck up with sticky tack for over a year. And it definitely gets direct sunlight. And these colors haven't faded. This is what it looked like when I drew it. It has not faded at all. So I thought, I have this sunny window here. I could clear off I have all my jars for watercoloring and stuff. I could clear it off and maybe put some swatches of all my Copics and all my Ohuhus in the window and check them out and see what I think about whether or not they are light fast. I mean, I know they're not light fast, but a year in direct sun and it looks the same as when I made it. So, maybe some are better than others. Maybe if I put it behind UV glass, it might hold up well enough that people could buy it. I have heard anything in the violet range with Copic. So the problem with some of the dyes is not only are they not light fast, but some of them are unstable and fugitive. Fugitive means whether you have it shut away in a dark drawer or hanging on a wall, the color is still going to fade because it's fugitive. It's a dye-based thing and it just doesn't stay. So I've heard the purples in the Copics will start fading within a week, whether they're exposed to light or not. So I thought, because working at the drawing board would be great for art making. And I think it would be, obviously it's going to be harder with watercolor. But I'm going to do some testing. And I would, like I said, I also want to maybe do markers. So we're gonna check out the markers, put them in the window, see what we think. And then that brings me to a question. So, knowing what you know about markers, would you sell an original marker piece if you knew that the colors were not light fast and fugitive, if you included a disclaimer saying, I recommend putting this behind UV glass, the colors may still fade? Is that honorable or moral, or would you just only sell prints? So I would like to know what you guys think about that and put it down in the comments. But the other thing I was thinking is I could still sell prints with the markers, But the other thing I was thinking, and I got out my hot press watercolor paper, all my different Arches hot press watercolor paper, and I was thinking, what if I use the watercolors on the drawing board like I would a marker? Like, instead of doing like whole sheet washes, which, you know, you don't do with a marker, what if I just did everything wet onto dry and like didn't have like big areas that I were doing at once? Would that work? So I want to try that. That might be an option if it doesn't drip too much, or if I could even just, it's an adjustable drawing board, so you can from almost flat to almost straight up. So I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner. And then, you know, I use all my hardboards and I tape my papers on it, and then there's like a lip that holds that hardboard in place. So I wouldn't even have to use this hand to hold anything down, because that lip would hold it in place. So I'm feeling really excited. And then, I mean, for most of you guys that have been here, you know I've been struggling. Since November, when the tendons tore, and then just the pressures of doing YouTube and dealing with like the negative comments and all of that. I mean, wasn't in a great place. So I'm feeling excited again for the first time since before I hurt my arm, and like excited to make art. And probably, I mean, I don't know if anybody's even going to be interested in watching it, but I do feel still like these art chats are the most popular videos after like art hauls, or trying new supplies. So I'm going to keep doing them. And I actually had a breakthrough with the comments. I guess I'll talk about that too. I had, maybe I'll pop it up. I'm going to block out his name, and I already deleted it, so don't go looking for him. But on my last video, someone said, I don't ever see any tutorials here. Well, here, I'll just get my phone and read it. Okay, so they said, I unsubscribed because I didn't see any art being created, just hauls and swatches. No tutorials, so I can't tell how you teach, therefore there's no reason for me to be a patron. Even though I know you have tutorials on Patreon, I don't know if your teaching style will be a good fit for me. I'd love to see some artwork. And then they did go on to say, I know you're a wonderful artist even though you don't yourself, which you shouldn't. I'm not sure what that means. Edit, I do still drop by from time to time to check in and see how things are going and if you're recording any artworks. And for the first time, it was like a breakthrough for me, you guys. My normal response to that would be, oh my gosh, I'm not doing good enough. I'm not making everybody happy. I've got to work harder. I've got to push myself harder. I've got to do more. And I'm very driven and a bit of a people pleaser, but for the first time, and you know, maybe they didn't mean it the way it sounded. Maybe they have, you know, I know people have different, you know, brain, I don't know what to say. Like, people say stuff in ways that they don't always mean it the way it sounds. Maybe they did say I was a wonderful artist at the end, so I'm cutting them some slack. But for the first time ever, I actually, I got angry. And I started to think, you know, maybe the problem isn't with me. Because as I've said before, now including the snow leopard video, I now have 34 videos up on this channel where I've done a whole piece from start to finish, teaching along the way. Some of them are you know, full-time real-length tutorials. Those are more like some of my very beginning videos where they were 4 or 5 hours long. People don't really watch them that much. They don't. But then also, I'll sneak in, in a video like this. I will often put a full-length, sometimes time-lapse, sometimes clips, but a finished piece from start to finish will teach along the way at the ends of these kind of videos, and also at the end of art hauls. I will often do that. But and I'm not super proud of myself, but I got mad and I said, all your comment tells me is that you don't actually watch my channel and you didn't watch anything before you started typing this comment, because I have 34 tutorials up. What, not my finest moment. I kind of snapped, and I regret it now, but oh well. Yeah, I don't think the problem's with me. Yeah, so from now on, if someone's telling me I'm not making enough art, or they leave a judgmental comment, I will either delete it so I don't have to see it, or I will respond. Because like, this is my art journey, so I'm going to do the stuff that makes me feel excited. And I've been, you know, like I said, really struggling since November to create anything because of the pain in my shoulder. So I'm aware there hasn't been as much art on here since I got hurt in November, but there's literally nothing I can do about it unless I can go back, you know, in time somehow and make it so my shoulder doesn't get torn. So, yeah, it's not me. I'm not the problem. I'd start singing here, but I won't. I'm sure you know what song I'm thinking about. Sometimes I'm the problem. We all have our own faults and flaws and stuff. I'm totally aware of mine, and I try to work on them a lot. And I'm not the problem here. So anyway, I actually feel a little bit better mentally now after realizing that this weekend. Like, what I put up here, I mean, yeah, I want views, and yeah, like, I'm trying to make an income out of this and everything, but I also have to stay true to myself and my life journey and what I'm going through. And like, do I care about some random person on the internet telling me I'm not doing enough when, like, between my life and my injury and my family and what I am trying to do, I feel like I'm gonna crack? And I think the answer is no, I can't care about that. So I know that sounds like you're probably all like, oh, you know, she should have realized that like a year ago. Well, I probably should have. I've talked about it before because of some of the stuff I went through early on in life. I'm an extreme people pleaser. Conflict makes me feel very stressed out. Knowing people are unhappy with me makes me feel really stressed out, and I've gotten a lot better with it the last, you know, few years. But I still struggle with it. I'm nowhere near where I should be, and I know that, even though I'm, you know, still working on it. So now that the rant is over, I probably showed you something while I was doing that. I'm going to go, maybe I'll cut this whole thing. I don't know. I don't even know. But I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do. And I'm hoping the drawing desk will fit on here with these markers. And I have some books and stuff under here, journaling stuff. I do a lot of journaling here. If not, I'll have to figure something out. I think you can see back there is my, you know, electronic station with my computer. You can't see it, can you? There. With my computer and like my microphone. But there's also my big XP pen drawing tablet, which I have not used for a while. And probably won't use until after the surgery. So I might pack that away if I can't fit the drawing desk here and move some of the stuff over there. I haven't figured stuff out yet, but I might be moving things around. So let's start this week. Look at that, you guys. It fits without even having to move anything. Like I said, I got this in 2019. I'm not sure if they're still up. I got it at Blick. And if it is still available, I will put it down in the link below. I feel like when I got it, it was like $36 and a pretty good deal. It's from, it says Julian Paris, Jullian Paris. And it has little rings here to attach a strap to it that I don't know where that is, so you can like carry it around. And I love this thing. I used it so much, and then I got into like more flat stuff and I wasn't using it and I put it away. But this might make, and like it's, you know, you saw how it just unfolds. I can put it so like maybe I'll slide it under here when I'm not using it. I think it was like $36 when I got it in 2019. I'm not sure how much they are, if they still have them, but I'll link it below if they do. And here's the lip. You can see the lip. Let's see if I have something I could put on here. So like if I wanted to hold it down even a little bit more, I could just put a little piece of tape across it. But I mean, it's not going anywhere this way. It moves a little bit this way, but like I said, I could stick it down with something, maybe even some sticky tack. And I can still set up my camera to film over my shoulder, so I think that would work. And I'm feeling excited about it. Okay, so there's step one for today. So here's step one for today. Step two is, I know I said I wasn't going to get any more supplies in February. I know it was going to be a no-buy month. But my husband was kind enough to say if I wanted to, he, as a late Valentine's Day present, we weren't going to celebrate Valentine's Day. I've had a lot of extra medical bills that we weren't expecting. But he has seen how like uninspired and unenthusiastic and down I've been, and he told me that if I needed anything to like start this whole pen and ink plan, that it was okay to go ahead and get some stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do is, my favorite pen and ink pens are the the Pigma, I don't know, what are they called? Well, I'm having a brain. The Pigma Microns. And I have them in black, brown, and blue. But I think I'm going to go through all my black ones and make sure they also have ink in them and that they aren't dried out. And make sure, so I know I wear the nibs off them a lot, so I'm going to check that. And then I think I'm going to go get my Copics out of the basement. I put them away after I put my Ohuhus out because I want to compare the two brands and see if there's any difference in how long they do last. And see what I think. So, step 2. I'm going to go find these, and we can check them out here if you want. I'll film while I'm checking them, in case you're interested. And then we'll get the Copics. So, it's a little hard to see. We're at my desk here. Here's my desk. And right here, these are like my journaling pens and stuff. And then this one was my drawing supplies one. The wood shelf on that is because that's where I put my computer when I'm live streaming. And last Thursday, I dumped this whole thing somehow during the live stream. So I just shoved everything into these bins for now. I think most of my Pigma, I'm saying that wrong again. No, I'm right. Pigma Microns are in here. So we're going to sort them out and find our stuff and see what I have before I place an order. And I don't know why this isn't focusing well. Ugh, I had it on the wrong setting. Hopefully everything I just recorded wasn't bad. So everybody, here is some big news. We're starting building our greenhouse. Who knew in February? Normally there'd be a lot more snow than this. But there's not, so we're starting. So you're digging the footers now, right? We're getting started. The dog is being super helpful. How big is it going to be?
8 by 8.
8 by 8. Boy, I'm really excited. I can't wait to see it. Are you helping dig the footers too, Belle? What's in there? What's in there? What's in there? Did you find anything? Look, Chase, she's helping too. Look. Do you see her? Bella, are you helping? Are you helping? Did you find anything? Day 2 progress. Greenhouse, here we come. Okay, you guys, there's the progress after 3 days. We got a little bit of snow during the night, so I don't know if that's going to make things hard. It's cold today, too. Construction may be at a standstill till tomorrow. Okay, so I got these little bins at Walmart. They're super helpful for staying organized when you're working on a project. I think it's like $1.67 for a set of 2. They're ridiculously inexpensive and they hold up really well. So I'm just going to go through and start. These are brown. Let's see, what am I gonna do? They also come in this smaller size. This is a set of 3, I think, same price. I'm gonna put the browns in one. I know I have a lot more blacks than the other. Here's the blue. I'm gonna put the blues in the other. I use these a lot with when I'm doing pen and ink, a lot. I guess I'll put that in with the, and then also my white gel pens. That would be something to see if I need more of. Let's see. Let's just sort through these for now. So black,
Brown, black. These are the Pilot Eno colored mechanical pencils. They're not light fast, but they're super fun for sketching. I highly recommend them if you haven't tried them. Black, brown, blue. I'll probably just speed this up now. These Prismacolor fine liners are decent too. They would be my second favorite for the fine liners. The Copic brand. Ooh, this is a good brush pen. Do I have a little post-it note here? These are the Tombow brush pens. These are a nice pen, but probably not what I'm going to be using, so I won't include that in there. Blue. The one thing about the good thing about the Copic multi-liners is that you can use them with the markers, and they don't, alcohol markers won't smudge them. The reason that I don't like them as much is because the nib bends really easily, but I might experiment with those a little bit more. So I guess I'll put them in here in this basket. Ooh, this is a nice brush pen too. This is the Copic Gassenfud. This is like my favorite brush pen. It's like an actual, like it's a brush. It's not like a foam brush, it's individual hairs. This is an awesome one. I think this is probably just about dried out. I used it a lot. Here's a black one. I'm thinking I need more black, and I definitely need to order some more black. I'm just sorting out some of my journaling supplies. So here's another Copic one. Here's another Pitt. I might need one of those depending on. Here's another brush one that I really like. I can't remember what this one is, but this one is lovely too. This is a newer one. Is it a Pilot? No, it's the Pentel brush pen. I'll try to remember what this is and link it below if I can figure out what it is. Here's another Prismacolor. We'll test those with the alcohol. This is the Tombow Zebra. This is like a foam and it's stiff. I think it's Sam Does Art on Instagram uses these almost exclusively. And this also is the, isn't it? The Tombow Zebra? Maybe I'm wrong on this. No, it is. Tombow Zebra. I think this is like a fine tip maybe. I'm not going to be using those though. Okay. So now that I've got that sorted out, this is what we've got here. And I also have a set that's worn down, but I could go through that and see how many of them. I think this was like my new ones. I think I need a new set. The other thing I sorted out were my mechanical pencils, because I'm thinking I might need more mechanical pencils. This one is really nice. This is the Kuratoga. This is like a self-sharpening pencil. So every time you click it, it rotates the lead so that it is always a sharp edge, which is nice. I feel like this was a little bit more expensive. And this was just a cheaper one. Oh no, it's also a Kuratoga. I must like these. It's good to go through your supplies every now and then, because you forget what you have. Okay, I just pulled the whole bottom drawer out of my drawer organizer over there. I don't even know what I have in here. It's been a while. But I did know that I had these in here, and you can see by looking at them that I've used these ones quite a bit. Well, maybe you can't on camera, but they are looking worse for wear. But we'll see. This one looks, I can tell already this one's worn down pretty far. Oh yeah. This one's not great. Which one is that? That's the O2. Let's compare it to one of these newer O2s. Yeah. Yeah. So these are my older ones. We'll check those out too. And see what we think. Ooh, I love this. This is a great eraser for getting into tight spots. This is the Tombow Mono Zero eraser. And actually, here, the sanded eraser. If you ever need to erase colored pencil, these are awesome. I love these things. So there's some art tips for you. Okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna go get my Copic markers too, and we'll have some fun. Okay, I just came up from the basement. These are all the Copics I own. I have a couple, I think they're the Chows, and then some refills in here too. These are all the Copics I own. I had been working on building my collection, but I stopped when I switched to the Oh-Hoo-Hoos. But we're going to swatch what we have of both of these and see what we think. And as long as we're talking about supplies, my favorite marker paper, and despite trying lots of stuff, I have not found any I like better, is the Strathmore Bristol. I have this in lots of sizes. This is smooth. This is vellum. Depending on what I'm doing, I might use these for different things. If I'm going to be doing a lot of colored pencil on top, I'll use the vellum. It's got more of a tooth. It feels, you know, a little more velvety, whereas the smooth would be just marker and ink only. But now this is the Strathmore Bristol 300 series, and this is considered their better paper, and it is artist grade, but they also have a Strathmore Bristol 400 series, which is supposed to be the best. So I think that's one of the things I'm going to try with my Valentine's money. I would like to try that. I have this in lots of sizes. I'll still use this, but I want to compare them and see what I think. And then the other thing that I want to do, talking about like combining pen and ink and color. So I haven't even opened this one yet. This is my Arches Hot Press watercolor paper. I am going to be doing some testing on this for that new technique I was talking about, but also I really want to try the Stonehenge Aqua Hot Press. I've heard that is excellent if you want to do pen and ink and then color. So that might be something I try too. If you have any good hot press watercolor papers that you think would be good for pen and ink, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm missing something cool. Let me know. Okay, as promised, we're going to go through some of my pen and ink. I put my camera way up on the stand for this, so hopefully you can see everything. I suppose it's more in the back. Actually, I don't know. This was a watercolor, I don't know if you can see that, with gold leaf. That's something I'd really like to do too. Try including some gold leaf in the. Okay, so here we're getting into some of my pen and ink. These are just pen and ink. Some of these are dip pen. I don't remember which anymore. Yeah, I don't remember which anymore. And then at some point I started doing the backgrounds in black gouache too, and I don't know which are which for those either. But this is just, this one I didn't finish. I never got the moon done. This was one of my very earlier ones. So we're just some of the pen and ink here quick. Just a quick flip through of some of them. Why did I stop doing people? Look at all the people. When was the last time you saw me do a person? I can't even remember the last time I've done a person. Have I done a person in like the last year? I don't even know. Huh. I wonder why I stopped doing people. Now we're getting into some of my very first colored pencil stuff. Watercolor. This is marker. This is gouache. The rest are watercolor. This is marker, those pigment markers. This is some of my older stuff. Ooh, older stuff. More pen and ink. Here. I wonder if I ruined that. Sorry if there was too much glare. Let's see, where was I when I noticed the glare? I don't know. We'll just do a quick back flip. Oh, that hurts my arm. Back flip so you can see watercolor, colored pencil, pen and ink, pen and ink, pen and ink. Hopefully it wasn't too glary. This is all stuff I did in 2023. Everything in here was done, no, that's not true. Because the pen and ink stuff was done before 2023. So the pen and ink in here was maybe done in 2022, I think. Look at all the people. Why did I stop doing people? I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking the pen and ink was done in 2022, the stuff that's in here, and everything else was done in 2023. This is my dog. That's Belle. You've seen her in the videos. And everything that was done in 2023 has a video up on YouTube. Like every single one of these, there's some sort of process video up for them. So when people say that like I don't have stuff up, it makes me mad. Watercolor. That's my latest watercolor. this one I finished right before I hurt my shoulder, and that was the last thing I did. So let's grab my sketchbooks too. That's not the right one. This is the right one. This is my pen and ink sketchbook. I can lower you down now. This is my pen and ink sketchbook. This is the sketches, not sketches, but ink drawings that I did mainly for Inktober, going back, I think, as far as, well, let's see. Maybe I dated it. This is a sticker I made. This is a sticker I made. These I bought. This is a sticker I made. This is mine, and this is mine. If anybody's interested. Let's see, there's some personal stuff I might have to flip through here in the beginning. It's not all Inktober. I don't know. So I think it just started out as a anything, because this is an art journaling one with a poem by W.B. Yeats in it. Come take me out of this dull house. Let me have all the freedom I have lost, for I would ride with you upon the wind, run on the top of the disheveled tide, and dance upon the mountains like a flame. This was done during, you know, the time when we were all stuck in our house, if you recall. I know you know what I mean. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get censored. But I distinctly remember doing this and putting this poem in during that time because I was stuck in the house. Let's see if it'll focus. And this was a drawing I made and then cut out and stuck in. I think these were just ink drawings, but not necessarily for Inktober, although they do seem to have a Halloween-y theme, except for that one. Face drawings. This was the actual marker drawing I did that I turned into this sticker. Inktober 2021. So this is what these start with. Now, when I do Inktober, sometimes I do full pieces. So a lot of the prompts aren't in here because I did full big pieces with them. And I don't know how far back I've saved them, but this is, ooh, I hated that one. There's one I didn't finish. I didn't like that. I like this one though. More Inktober. This is all from, what did I say, 2021 for the first. I remember the gouache that I did the background with this was slightly spoiled and it smelled awful. 2021. You saw the sticker for that right there. That's the same drawing there. But anyway, so when I first, Undying Tales. I didn't do that this year. I think this is more like a challenge sketchbook, because this would have been Undying Tales and possibly this, I don't know. This for sure was Undying Tales, and that's gouache. Inktober, just drawing for fun. Well, I don't know why I stopped drawing people, you guys. Why did I stop drawing people? I don't know. Mermaid. This was Mermaid for 2022, but I remember something happened and I didn't get to do Mermaid. The Art Nouveau Mermaid. Oh, I hated that one. I hated it. Now we're back to Inktober. What day was, or Inktober was this? I don't say which year this was. It must have been 2022. That was marker, and I think, oh no, I did do some more stuff in there. Oh, a turtle. Huh. It says, try to be like the turtle at ease in your own shell by Bill Copeland. I don't know who that is, but I must have liked it. Painttober 2023. This was the one that I planned. And then I wasn't able to, and Folktale Week, the whole story I wrote for it. And that's that and that one. So, yeah, I want to combine ink with color and see what I come up with. I think I'll go have some lunch and think about it some more, and I will be back. I feel like this might end up being a long video. Okay, you guys, so I printed out 2 copies of the Copic sketch marker set swatch charts. I bought these from Etsy. This is her regular address and not her Etsy address, but I can link that down below. And my plan is I'm going to swatch each color that I own on the charts. It'll be a good way to see what has dried up and what I might be missing color-wise. And then, you guys, I found the coolest thing. I found there's a Copic marker collection app where you can scan in the markers that you have and keep track of what you have and what you don't have. So I'm going to be doing that too. Let's see if we can figure out how to do this first. All right, let's see how this works. Scan the barcode. Okay. 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 Now let's swatch this on both charts. I'm just going to be pulling them randomly. These are not in any sort of order. E8, 4. It'd be easier if they were, but I've got the Ohuhu markers in my organizers right now. So, E8, 4. And let's do it on this one too. Okay. So I'm going to speed this up. It wasn't very far in before I started to realize that I had a big problem. I am so mad at Copic right now. So mad. I just can't even, I don't know. I've written to them to see if there is a known problem with the markers or not. I wrote to them Monday. It is Friday afternoon at 2:34 p.m. and I have not heard back from them. In just a second here, you'll see my first marker that I run across that's an issue. So I will switch to that in a second here, and then I will be back to explain what the problem was, because it was a big deal. Oh, and as soon as I took the cap off, I could tell that wasn't on there good. I think I might have to replace this marker. It's like the seal is gone. Yeah, I'm gonna have to replace the marker on this one for some reason. So I will get a notepad and write that down. I think this one might need a refill. The black. Oh, the end on this is... Huh. Interesting. Alright, well, let's see. Oh, there's some E's in here too still. This one might need a refill. It seems a little dry. And the end isn't good on it. I might have to write to Copic. Okay, let's start swatching these. Why is it like that? Okay, I'm on my 5th marker where there has to be some sort of crack or something, and these haven't been used. So something is up, and I'm definitely going to be writing to Copic about it. I'm not happy at all. These are too expensive to have them be like that when I haven't even used them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're up to 9 of my markers that have it looks like there must be some sort of slight, it's never on the brush end tip, it's only on this end, and they must have slight cracks in them. The seal is gone and it just doesn't, the cap comes off really easily. So now I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I'll keep going through these and see how many there are total. You guys, I am just livid. I am so angry. I had purchased 129 Copic markers, and out of that 129, 34 of them had cracks on the chisel end of the marker and were dried up. 17 of them were totally dried up, and another 7 were just dried up on the chisel end.
I wrapped the chisel end cap with duct tape, and you're probably seeing pictures right now of some of the photos of the cracks. I have photos of all of the cracks. I found the best way to find them is to put a flashlight on the outside of the cap and look for where the light is shining in through the inside of the cap. You guys, who else is having this problem? I can't be the only one. I've never even used these. They've been stored in our cool, dry basement, not exposed to heat, not exposed to light, in a dark container, never used, and now they never will be used. It was 34 markers. They're $5.86 a piece on Blick, which is where I bought most of mine. That's $199.24 in markers that I'll never get to use. And there's got to be some sort of manufacturing issue or some sort of known issue. It has to be. I don't blame Blick. It's clearly not their fault. It's not their fault. It's clearly something to do with Copic, and the fact that they haven't even responded to my email does not speak well for them. I just, the whole reason that they were so expensive was because they're supposed to be the marker that lasts a lifetime. In fact, if you go to their Instagram page, that's their slogan on their Instagram page. But you guys, they didn't even last a year, and I didn't even get to use them. It's not like they were heavily used and they cracked. I didn't use these. I got, contacted by Ohuhu, and I did the 3 sponsored videos for them, and I didn't have time to use the Copics. And when I finally did get to have time, they weren't working. They're ruined. I just don't know. I mean, it's got to be something with the marker.
See that line running down? That looks gray. That's a crack. So this marker is totally dried out, and Copic doesn't sell replacement caps, so I have to replace this whole marker. And I'm feeling very unhappy right now. And this is why I say, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna run some tests. I'm gonna sacrifice a sheet of my smooth Bristol, which is what I would normally do marker on, and we're gonna run some tests. The one thing that I haven't been totally sure about with the Ohuhu is whether or not they blend as well as Copics. So it's time to really test it and see what we think. If I really think that they don't blend as well, then maybe it's worth spending more money to replace the Copics. But at this point, I just don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay. Alright, now let's try a blend with our Copics. Let's see. Let's do G40, G43, and G46. Okay, so my first thoughts are, yeah, the Copics blend better than the Ohuhus. They're a little less streaky. They do blend together a little bit better.
So I ran the exact same blending test both on the Spectrum Noir paper and also the Canson marker paper, which I don't really like, but I checked it anyway. And these are the results.
So, I don't know how much you guys can see of that. Let's see if I can hold it up. Maybe I can get this in the light tomorrow too. It is pretty clear to me that Ohuhus don't blend as well as the Copics. Now, I don't do a whole lot of blending. This is my preferred paper right here. And as you can see, they blended pretty well on these, although you can still see the lines of the Ohuhu and you can't in the Copics. Here, on this paper that's specifically for markers, I don't think it blended well at all. This is the Spectrum Noir. I think that's the worst. And then this is the Canson marker paper that's very thin, almost like a tracing paper. The ink doesn't absorb into this, so it kind of gets pushed around a little bit. I mean, it absorbs some, but it was getting on the nibs of my markers, so that could be an issue. Yeah, I think I'm done for tonight. I'm going to think on this overnight and revisit this tomorrow, but I am very disappointed. One more thing I did want to say is the ones that were starting to go, I did tape the seal on the chisel end because I don't use that anyway, to see if that helps make them last any longer. I forgot to check to see if the caps, well, I didn't forget, I didn't know to check to see if the caps are cracked before I did that. So I don't know, I taped up 12 of them with electrical tape. I'm not sure if I'll unpeel them tomorrow and check them or not. So that's where we stand with that. Okay, everybody, I'm just holding it for a second. I think you can see I'm still, all my Copic marker stuff is out. It is Tuesday now, Tuesday afternoon. I did, I drew this. This is gonna be, I think, watercolor. I was planning to test that, you know, drawing desk with my Copics, but I'm not too happy. What I think I am going to do, though, is finish testing all these, so at least it's done. And then I think I might write to Copic and ask them what they think. I think, what did I say yesterday? I have so far 8 are totally cracked and totally dried out. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 that are, the seal feels really loose, and they're probably cracked inside, but I didn't check them yet because I didn't realize they had cracks till I Googled it. So those are the ones that I put the electrical tape on. I may take that off and check it for cracks. I haven't decided yet. But let's finish swatching these so at least it's done, and then we'll move on to something else. Hi everybody, it's Friday morning and I'm not sure how much you can see. I'm moving stuff around on this desk and making more room. You probably can't see it, but the drawing board is right here leaning up against the wall so I can take it down when I need it after surgery. I moved my markers over so they're more easily accessible because I'm planning to do a lot of drawing mediums as well as, like I said, gouache and watercolor. And then one other thing I wanted to talk about today, which is why I'm filming this instead of editing what I already have for the video, is sketchbooks. So I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Thank you for being here with me today. I'm feeling a lot better mentally today and yesterday. Now that I've officially made the decision to have the surgery, feeling a lot better. So hopefully we will get through this and keep going and everything will be okay. Anyway, thanks for being here with me today, and until next time, happy creating.